We got to air it out. Let's air it out. So we got to air it out. Let's air it out. So
how do you say that? Air it out? Air it out?
Air it out.
That's right, boys. We need to air it out. This is the Air It Out podcast coming at you live. We are so happy because it is draft day. Let's
yes,
go.
Sir.
Oh,
yes, sir.
Here, we are so happy to be here today with our draft. And I need to introduce myself. I'm Jerome, your humble host. But I want y'all to more importantly introduce my guys over here. My guy, Darren Braxton. How you doing, my man?
Listen. 2 picks, 2 chances to get this right. Make the right decision, people. Give my man what he needs. That's all I ask. Anything else is icing on top. Just give my man what he needs.
How's that feeling to have an extra pick just a few days before the draft? Like, oh, we got an extra pick in the first round. Like, oh, okay. How'd it feel?
It's a great sign because that's an extra year for that guy, especially if he's a really good player to keep him develop. Possibly get to that second contract, so really good. It's unfortunate we lost Brown, but I knew it was coming.
Yeah, you gotta sacrifice to retrieve sometime, you know. So we got my man Darius Riddick. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Listen, got my mock draft ready. Tonight is the night. We got one job, New England. One job. That's all I'm gonna say. One job. Get it right. I trust Bill to do the right thing.
You could tell he's a Patriot fan because how overprepared he is.
I have to do my homework. Listen, man. I have to do the homework. He got one job today. That's all I'm saying. One job.
He come from the tree of Bill Belichick, fan. So, and we got my man Avery Collins over here, Mr. ATL himself. How you doing, my man?
What up, everybody? Shout out to Jerome going live from the A now. You know what I'm saying? He out there in my old stomping grounds.
A-town down.
A-town down in my old stomping grounds. So shout out to that. Yeah, man, we in an interesting position right now, man. I got a bit of a hot take about what I think potentially happened in the draft this year with my Falcons pick here. So yeah, man, let's get into it and. It might be something that Darren Braxton actually goes for.
Let's go. We're going to get right into it. We're not going to waste no time. We're getting straight to the picks. This is our mock draft 1.0 special. The first one, the only one on draft day. This is the one that you need to pay attention to. This is going to be the only good one, I think, out there. We'll see how this goes. But we're going to jump right into it. Mr. Number 1 will be Avery Collins. You got the I'm about to say Broncos. We got the Jaguars at number 1. So you got the first pick. Are you gonna screw this up, or you gonna take the guy? You gonna take him? Are you gonna take him?
Well,
ooh, don't do it.
In an interesting turn of events,
don't do it to him.
A former NFL quarterback, first round at that, named Timothy Tebow, has contacted the Jacksonville Jaguars and wants to try out for the team at tight end. Now,
you know why he wanted to do that. Urban Meyer's there.
Now, here's the thing with Timothy Tebow. Because he's such a versatile player, you may not need sunshine at the number 1 overall pick. You might be able to do a by committee thing, Gardner Minshew here, Tim Tebow there.
Are you milking this?
What is he about to do?
He is milking.
What is he about? Oh my God!
Just say it already.
Listen, man, the Jacksonville Jaguars are taking none other than Trevor Lawrence. Man, they're gonna pull him off the board. I think it's a foregone conclusion. I mean, we hear all this speculation. Oh, some people are saying Mac Jones and Justin Fields and even and Trey Lance, they may have superseded Trevor Lawrence as the number 1 pick. And don't forget about Zach Wilson. Listen, it's going to be Trevor Lawrence. Anything else is like absurd. Now, granted, we're hearing rumors that Aaron Rodgers does not want to be on the Green Bay Packers going into 2021. let's say the Jacksonville Jaguars give up a first round, that first overall pick goes down to Jacksonville. They get their quarterback. Now they're in a position where they trade that pick and can get some capital there. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but we've seen stranger things. But I do think that they'll take Trevor Lawrence and that's how it's going to rock.
I mean, hours before the draft, things you never know. Last minute trade talks, people started getting in their feelings, getting excited. They might be like, you know what, let's do it, whatever. I want that guy. So you never know. But let's get to our next pick, man. You want to waste no more time because the number one shouldn't have been that long of a pick, Avery. Number two, we got number two. That will be Darius. You got the Jets. So you're representing Mr. Juan Green Camargo. However you say his full name. So make our former host proud. Who are you picking right there?
As much as I hate to say this, because we got to play the guy twice a year, and we see what he does on tape. The only thing is, can it translate to the NFL? Zach Wilson, I think anything outside of Zach Wilson will be a surprise. I mean, possibly we could see maybe a Justin Fields go number two, but I think the Jets have their mind made up on Zach Wilson. He's going to have a lot of pressure because he's going into New York media and the New York spotlight, but I think he'll be able to handle it. But I definitely think the Jets are going to go with Zach Wilson. You get a new head coach, you get a new GM, you get a young quarterback, and you trade Sam Darnold. That just opened the gates for a new quarterback. So I think by them doing that, they're going quarterback and they're going Zach Wilson.
Fair spot. All right, I got number three with the 49ers. I am on the clock. 49ers traded up for this pick, gave away 3 first-round picks. So I'm not going anywhere outside of quarterback. Now the question is, which quarterback? In any other situation, or if I heard any other news before, I would have picked Justin Fields. I think he's the next best quarterback out there, but the recent report that he had epilepsy, that might be a little scary for teams to pick him this high. I think he's still going to be in the first round, still going to be in the top 10, I think, but it's kind of scary to hear something like that for the number 3 overall pick. You never know, even though there's medicine and stuff like that going on, and I'm pretty sure they can handle his epilepsy, and prayers up to him. Hope everything's fine. He had no problems so far, but I'm gonna go on because the big rumor was either Trey Lance or Mac Jones, and I'm gonna go with Trey Lance. He got a better upside. They have a quarterback already there that he can develop under, and he can learn the NFL game, and he'll have to get thrown right in there. So I'm going Trey Lance. All right. Now we got Avery is back on the clock for his personal team. So just let you guys know, everybody on this panel got their own personal team. So Darren has an extra pick this mock draft, so he's gonna have to wait a little bit to do his first mock, but he does have an extra mock because he got two picks in his first round. But Avery, you're on the clock with number 4 with the Atlanta Falcons. We got 3 quarterbacks off the board. Who are you picking here? Will it be a 4th?
So I know we're not doing trades, but here's my hot take that I was alluding to. I would not be surprised. I don't want this to happen, but I would not be surprised if the Atlanta Falcons trade Julio Jones to the Baltimore Ravens for 2 first-round picks and Sammy Watkins. I would not be surprised if they did that. With that being said, because we're not doing trades, I think we are going to put every defense on high alert this year, and we draft Kyle Pitts, and we get that man, we snag him off the board, and now you got to deal with Julio Jones, Kyle Pitts, Calvin Ridley, Matthew Ryan, Michael Davis, Hayden Hurst, Russell Gage. Like, this is going to be an offense that can rival the Chiefs, the Broncos in 2012 and 13. Like, it's going to be. I think that's what they're going to do, man. I think they'll take Kyle Pitts and they'll as we say, air it out. We're going to air it out. You know, air it out.
One thing I will say about the trade situation that you proposed, the only thing is that Julio Jones is going to be y'all going to owe Julio Jones a lot of money until I think it's June 3rd, I believe.
June 1st.
So a lot of June 1st. Okay, so like the speculations that he probably won't get traded into after the draft. So we'll see how that goes. But let's get to our next pick with number 5. Darren, you are finally on the board. At number 5, you got the Bengals. Are you protecting Joe Burrow, or are you giving him a weapon? Or you going somewhere else?
So it was really straight down to Sewell, Chase, and Pitts. With Pitts off the board now at number 4, because that ridiculous trade of the Falcons 2 and Sammy for Julio right now. I don't know that's. But for the Bengals, you gotta look towards the future. You have to look towards the future, and the future is Joe Burrow. If he's not protected, if he cannot go ahead and actually plant his feet and throw the ball to the numerous amount of weapons he has already, what's the point? You give him Sewell at number 5. Bengals.
Finish SeaWorld. I had to do it to you, Avery. I'm sorry. I apologize, man. Let's get to my pick. I am the 6th pick with the Dolphins. Penei Sewell is off the board. The Dolphins can go wide receiver. You go edge. You go linebacker. Right now, I don't think linebacker edge is a good position. They also go interior offensive line. At 6, I don't think you do that. So I'm gonna go with the player that I'm kind of upset that I'm picking right here because I was wishing that he dropped a couple of picks, maybe 6 picks, but he's gonna go here. I'm gonna go with my personal favorite player in his draft, Mr. Jamar Chase. I had to do it. Jamar Chase is going to the Dolphins. All right, let's get to our 7th pick, and that will be Mr. Avery. You got the Detroit Lions. Who are you picking right there for them?
Ooh, this one was a tough one because I think they're in a really good position here with this pick to trade back if there's nothing that they see of value right here with this pick. Obviously, we know that there's a ton of needs in Detroit, whether it be wide receiver because they no longer have Kenny Galladay. I think they're set on tight end with T.J. Hawkinson. Obviously, there's some line concerns. You got the trade with Matthew Stafford and Jared Goff, so you wonder, do you want to give him a weapon? All of those different things. But I think that because they want to get back to playing good football, I think it's going to start on the defensive side. And so with this pick here, I'm torn. I was thinking either Micah Parsons or Patrick Surtain. I think what they're going to do though is shore up the back end and draft Patrick Surtain with this pick. So I'm going to say Patrick Surtain is going to be the first corner. I know everybody has Jace Horn over him. Well, most people have Jace Horn over him, but I think because of one, the fact that he played in the SEC, and 2, his instincts, I think Patrick Surtain kind of separates himself from the field and becomes the first corner taken off the board there.
Wow. So 2 first-round corners in 2 back-to-back years. That's crazy for the Lions. We'll see how that works out for them. Darius, you are at number 8 with the Panthers. You're on the clock. Who are you picking for them?
You guys kind of ruined my mock draft, but nah.
Yeah.
With Carolina, you get a quarterback. What's the best thing you got to do when you get a quarterback? Protect them, right? And I think Carolina last year, what they did was they went defense, and I think this year they're going to go mostly offense and beef up that offensive line. This is probably going to be a little bit of question mark, but I think this guy probably is going to be a steal. I don't think he should go. I don't think that he's going to go this high, but he's definitely going to be a steal. I'm gonna go Landon Dickerson from Alabama, the guy who can play guard and center. You can plug him. I just like 2-dimensional offensive linemen. You can put him at tackle, you can put him at guard because you kind of mix and match and reshuffle your offensive line. And again, I think when you bring in a guy like Sam Darnold, you got to protect him. So I definitely think Carolina they don't go that specific player, I think they should go offensive line. Just beef up that offensive line and address the offense in this year's draft. We ain't talking. If it was a trade, then yeah, they would have traded down. But
trade down. They looked.
But if not, Landon Dickerson.
Landon Dickerson. Wow. I personally don't have him that high. I think
that's
that
what I said. Steal. You never know, man.
Offensive line, they would do like, Slater, Rashad Slater. I think that would be a better pick. But hey,
listen,
whatever floats your boat. Whatever floats your boat. I'm not judging it. All right, I'm on the clock now. This is gonna be a very interesting draft. I'm on the clock. I got the Broncos. I think if you add this guy to their defense, they already got their quarterback. They got Teddy Bridgewater. They got Locke. I think a lot of people was gonna say, "Oh, they still need a quarterback." Yeah, but you could do that in the second round or third round, get somebody, and then try to have a competition, so who can win it out. I don't think Drew Lock is a terrible quarterback. I think Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater is on the same kind of page. So I'm not gonna give them a quarterback here. Actually, you know what? Now I'm thinking because Fields is still there. I'm thinking about that. I forgot about that. All right, I'm going Justin Fields. I'm sorry. I got it. Justin Fields. I just convinced myself to give him a quarterback. I was going to go on this whole tangent and not getting a quarterback, and I got a quarterback. So Justin Fields after they got to the Bridgewater and Drew Lock. So that's going to be a full quarterback room. But I think if he's there, he's going to do it. Johnny agreed. He said that Landon Collins saw it. So, hey, Dickerson, that's just me. But anyway, let's get to our next pick. Darren, you were on the clock. You got the Cowboys. You pick.
So as a the Cowboys. I should be running to the podium with this one here, but Jerry Jones is Jerry Jones, and he might try to pull something that a lot of people don't think should happen. He goes away from cornerback, so I'm kind of torn right now because the smart thing and the obvious pick would be to take J.C. Horn at this position, but the Jerry Jones in me is thinking, should we attempt to get Micah Parsons and make him an edge threat? Should we get Trevon Morgan, or should we wait to the second round? Listen, the Cowgirls are Cowgirls are Cowgirls. You know they're going to make stupid decisions. But on this one, they look at the Eagles, they look at the Giants, and they look at the Redskins. Everyone's trying to load up on offensive firepower. How are you going to stop it? Dallas Cowgirls select J.C. Horn.
Making my pick harder. All right, J.C. Horn's off the board. I personally, as an Eagles fan, will be very upset with that. Johnny says how you got the Ravens picking for the girls. We got everybody picking for another team, and he does have the Ravens, so he's gonna pick for his Ravens. He will. All right. Who's on the board? We got Avery. Avery is on the clock now. He got the Giants. Who you picking right there?
Well, assuming Jerry does in fact, go defensive back as he should if J.C. Horn is there, or Patrick Surtain, whoever. I think he should in fact do that, and that will then allow for the New York Giants to go ahead and draft Micah Parsons. I believe that is going to be the pick there. I believe that is the biggest question mark on their defense right now. Excuse me. After adding Adoree Jackson, James Bradbury had a really good year last year. You still got I'm forgetting his name from Jersey, Michigan guy.
Real Peppers. Michigan baby.
You said what?
Michigan baby, go blue.
Yes, sir. And so I think with that being said, and offensively, I think you have enough weapons currently. Obviously, you still want to continue to build that offensive line. But I think right there, I think, Micah Parsons is the right pick. You got some, like I said, some veterans on the back end, and Logan Ryan as well. Like I said, you just brought in Adoree Jackson, James Bradbury had a really good year. Jabril Peppers is, again, a guy he's just a flow type guy, Tyrann Mathieu type guy who can play in the back end. He can play in the box. I think you get Micah Parsons to help on that front pass rush with Leonard Williams and different things like that. I think the Giants are trying to build to Darren's point, to stop some of those offenses and really, really, really get strong on that side of the ball. So, yeah.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm on the clock. I got my Philadelphia Eagles. Y'all sniped my guy J.C. Horn. I told everybody today, this is the guy I really want in that position, unless we trade up and get Chase. Chase is 1, J.C. Horn's 2. That's for me. Both of them are off the board. Obviously, Kyle Pitts is way off the board. I would like him also. So the top 2 corners off the board. I think the Eagles were really looking to get in corners. Since they're off the board, the third best corner will be Caleb Farley. Now, Caleb Farley has back injuries. I would love to have Caleb Farley there because you got Darius Slay. So you don't have to worry about, him starting right away because you have a number 1 guy there already. But just the thought of the Sidney Jones situation just makes me want to throw up. So I'm not going to go there. So I'm going to do this for my boy Lewis. He's been crying for this pick forever. I'm going with Jalen Waddle. Man, I like Jalen Waddle. I was just concerned that we have a lot of receivers in that same mode, and I'd rather have a bigger body receiver. But the draft board plays out the way it does, Jalen Waddle's my guy. I'm down for it. I like Jalen Waddle. I think he's a really good receiver anyway, so I'm not worried about, at that point, I'm not worried about what players on the team. Just get the best players out there, the best players that's for a need, so I'm going with Waddle. All right, let's go with the Chargers. Chargers at 13.
It's funny because Devontae Smith just did an interview with Shannon Sharp and said that in a 40-yard dash, he would take Waddle over Henry Ruggs, and Henry Ruggs ran a 4.29 officially. Yeah. So that's some
speed, man. The Eagles been looking for speed and been doing the whole speed thing the last couple of drafts. So Jalen Waddle will probably be one of the guys that they're looking at too. So I wouldn't deny it. All right, we got the LA Chargers before we go there. Johnny Dean said Micah Parsons in New York will be a hot mess, but at least the GM is the GM and not the Jets. Oh, the Jets. Okay. And multiple back surgeries. Waddle's a good pick. Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate the comment on that one. All right. So we got Darren. You are on the clock. Who are you picking for the LA Chargers?
Oh, I'm running to the booth for the Chargers. And it can be either one of these guys.
You better pick who I think.
Devonta Smith or Rashawn Slater. That's the only 2 picks right there for the Chargers. It really depends on what they want to do, whether it be protecting more so Justin Herbert and making sure he has healthy years to go through. He already has weapons. He has Austin Eckler. He already has Keenan Allen, who just re-signed a new deal, and he still has Mike Williams. So he does have weapons to use. And they got a guy of Jalen Guyton, who was a very, very sneaky, deep threat last year. I'm telling you guys, he can be someone to look out for. But for the Chargers right here, I'm sorry. I can't not give it to him. Give him Smith. Smith at number 13 for the Chargers. They're going to run up, take Devonta Smith, and that will be a 3-headed beast there that Justin Herbert has to offer. Keenan Allen is the security blanket in the middle. Mike Williams and then Devonta Smith on either side. That's just going to be a nasty matchup for people. I'm telling you this now. Don't let them get a good tight end. Hey, they got to replace what Hunter Henry can't do no more. It's not there.
Not mad at that pick. I'm not extremely mad at that pick. As Jerome is frozen here, I think that
sorry guys, I had a little internet hiccup.
Oh, there
I did not hear the pick though. I did not hear the pick.
He said Devontae Smith is off the board, man.
What?
Okay, The third receiver. They lost Hunter Henry. He's going to need a security blanket. That's going to be Keenan Allen, which means he needs two new weapons. He needs another weapon to
So he don't need
continue on
offensive line help. He just needs another weapon. Got it.
Wow.
Listen, there's offensive tackles in the second round that would be good.
They
already got receivers.
Yeah, they got
protect your franchise guy.
Woo.
This class is deep with speedsters at that position.
Because Smith can take over for Mike Williams. That this is his free agency contract year. So
that's
if he
true,
leaves,
but
now you have the tandem of Allen and Smith.
I get it. Also, Keenan is getting up there in age, so I get it. I get it.
I really want to show you guys, but y'all, you ain't giving me no openings. Come on, say something stupid. Oh man, I guess he likes your pick. Then I guess he likes your pick. I mean, hey man, me personally, I would protect my quarterback, my young quarterback. I think you got enough receivers, and you got the emergence of Jalen. I forgot his name, but Guyton. There you go. They really like him. So, but I mean, hey, you can't go wrong with weapons. You can't have enough weapons, I guess. So, let's go to the 14th pick. That will be Darius. You are on the clock with the Minnesota Vikings.
So with this pick, I think the biggest issue with Minnesota, just outside of defense, was the offensive line protecting Kirk Cousins. So I think they go Christian Darrison. I think you get a tackle that can really help. You get a tackle that can really help protect Kirk Cousins. He can help in the running game. So I think that's where they're going to go if they don't go defense, especially with guys like J.C. Horn, Patrick Surtain off the clock, Michael Parsons if he's not on there. So I definitely think they go offensive line just to protect their guy.
So Christian Darrisaw over Slater?
Yep.
Okay. It might be preference. I think
preference, man. You never know what they saw.
You're right. Well, you're back on the clock with your personal team. You got the Patriots right there. Who are you picking right there for them?
There's so many things that Bill Belichick might do tonight, and it's a good percent. It's a good chance that he might trade back for draft capital. It's a great chance he might trade up. But I think if this guy starts to fall,
just to answer Chris real quick, Waddle was taken, and Patrick Surtain and Herman was taken. Patrick Surtain was taken by the
Lions.
The Lions, and then J.C. Horn was taken by the Cowboys.
But I'm gonna go Mac Jones. I think I really want Justin Fields. That's who I really wanted, just because of who is our quarterback now, Cam Newton or Trey Lance. Cam Newton can teach those guys. They can sit behind Cam for a year, really learn what it takes to be in the NFL, especially with the offense that the Patriots are turning to. I really love him, but if we're going back to the old traditional pocket passer quarterback, you surround him around great talent, which the Patriots, I think, kind of addressed in the offseason. Still some work, you feel like they don't have a number one receiver or they don't have a slot receiver, something they can address in the second round. But if you're going to go with that route, Mac Jones is the perfect fit for that team.
Johnny thinks that the Bills are going to trade up for the Mac Jones.
I love Justin Fields. I want Justin Fields, man. I would really love Justin Fields.
Now he's trying to troll you.
Yes, I would love Justin Fields, man. I really would love him, but if he goes where Jerome, I think you said the Broncos are gonna take him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, if you say the Broncos are gonna take him, then it's like Mac Jones is the next best fit if we decide to go quarterback and Mac Jones does decide to fall. That way we don't have to trade.
That was definitely a troll because they got Jake Fromm, they got Jake from State Farm, and they've got that man Josh Allen. So it's definitely a troll. That's hilarious.
That's a troll right there.
First time listener from Andrew Oliver. Thank you, Andrew, for coming on our YouTube channel. Appreciate you being on. He said, "What's up, guys? First time writer, long time listener. If I'm Howard Roseman, what's your thoughts on the process behind Waddle over Smith at 12. So I just think, honestly, I think it's the speed. I just think realistically, you could go with either. Honestly, I think Devontae Smith would probably be the better fit, to be honest. He's a better route runner, and we don't have a lot of good route runners. But just based on what the Eagles like and what they've been trying to do with the whole speed movement, and they lost Deshaun Jackson, they probably want to get somebody to replace him, and he gets a lot of comparison to Deshaun Jackson. So that's my thought process behind that. But I wouldn't mind Smith either. If the draft board plays out the way it did, where all the corners are gone, there's no way we can get Chase. There's no way we can get Pitts. Devontae Smith will be a really good option there as well. All right, let's get to Avery. You are next on the clock. You got the Cardinals. Who are you picking there?
I think it goes back to what we were talking about with Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow and all those different things, right? Got to protect the guys. He's got enough weapons now, right? He's got all the weapons that he needs, right? You still got Larry Fitz coming back for another year. You got DeAndre Hopkins. You've got Christian Kirk. You got a ton of weapons. Kyle Pitts went to Atlanta. Thank you very much. So he's got plenty of weapons. Now you're bolstering your defense with adding in J.J. Watt and all those different things. It hurts to lose Patrick Peterson. So you would hope to potentially maybe they trade up to go after a J.C. Horn or a Patrick Surtain or something like that. But I think they realize we don't want a Russell Wilson situation in Arizona. Just because he can move doesn't mean he has to. He's better suited when he's in the pocket and he can do his thing. So I want to take Rashawn Slater with this pick. I actually had them taking Christian Barmore, but obviously Darius is saying that the Vikings are going to end up taking him. So if he falls, that's the guy they're going to take. Rashawn Slater. I think they protect their quarterback there.
Yeah. Chris said Alavale Tucker. I agree with Chris, but if Slater's there, you gotta take him. I can't see him falling this far down. That's just crazy. That's just my personal opinion on that.
Exactly, and I wouldn't be mad at Tucker either. But I think if Slater's there, between the two guys, I think the upside for me is on more so on the Slater side. But either guy is really good. But I think me personally, I see a little more athleticism and a little more pop at the point of attack when I watch Slater on film.
Agree, definitely agree. All right, Avery, you are back on the clock. Before I pitch you back on the clock, we got another comment. He said, Slater, a damn good pick. How did he fall this far? Well, I can tell you, but somebody picked,
Listen, teams don't always pick the best available player. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
They just go on. They feel like it's the best fit.
Somebody decided to overdo the receivers in LA.
If Smith was to fall that far, it's like a CD Lamb last year falling that far. When you have someone like that and you can bolster a strength that you already have and make it 10 times better, do it. Especially for a talent like Smith.
All right. Well, let's get to our next pick. We got the LV Raiders. The LV Raiders. Avery, you're back on the clock. Who are you picking there?
So, again, we're not doing trades, so I actually think that the Raiders may trade up to try to snag Michael Parsons. I think that's the guy that Gruden probably has his eyes set on. But if it's going to play out the way we've said so far, I think they still end up going defense. I think they take who I consider to be probably the best linebacker in this draft, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I think that he ends up going to the Raiders right here with this pick. I think – obviously, I was thinking maybe receiver, but I still think that they're going to be a run-first offense. With that being the case, I think that they can kind of still get away with having Henry Ruggs going deep on the back end. They've got one of the best slot receivers in the game in Hunter Renfrow, in my opinion. One of the most short-handed for sure. That's for sure. His hands are like glue. So I think that they can get away with, running the ball. But again, if you're going to do that and you're going to slow the game down, you got to be able to play solid defense. Got to be able to stop the run. I think they go Notre Dame, Jeremiah Owusu right here.
All right, awesome.
I agree.
All right, I am on the clock with the Dolphins, and let's get to the Raiders. You gotta go Gruden crazy with this pick. And then Chris says I agree with Avery. All right, so I got the Dolphins. I had both of their picks. So the first pick I used was Jamar Chase. I was hoping Slater slid down, so there's 2 picks before me. I was hoping he slid down to the Dolphins, and Ray Roberts would have loved me for picking Slater and Jamar Chase. That would have been a crazy pick for them. I'm going to I feel like I'm gonna give them an edge rusher, and this guy is super athletic. He's already from Miami. I'm gonna go with Jalen Phillips right here. I think that having him, that defense was already looking really good. Really good last year. You plug him in there, have your coach, I forget his name, Brian Flores. He loves his defensive guys. This guy's super athletic, super fast. He's a little raw, but I feel like in that defense he's gonna do very well. And I think this is a really good pick for them right here. I'm very interested to see what Ray will say with this, but let's see. Comment right here says Dolphins Najee Harris. See, I was thinking that, but I think it's still a little too rich for running backs right now. I just think that running backs were not. I personally, if you looked at the last podcast that we had last week, I personally said that I don't think any running backs are going in the first round this year. I think it's going to be probably a run in the top of the second with 3 guys, but I personally don't think that a running back's going to go this year, especially the way the league is going. Najee Harris is great, don't get me wrong, and he can catch out of the backfield. He has his quarterback from last year there, but I don't know. I just don't see a running back. Johnny said edge rusher. Miami has a good defense. They better protect Tua. I was thinking that too, but I don't know. I feel like there's so many good offensive linemen that they can get one in the second round, and they have a good pick in the second round where they can get a still good lineman in the second round as well. So a top one. All right, we're going to go to our next pick, which is the football team. I love that name. Never change that name, Washington. Never change that name, please. They're the football team. So, Darius, you have this one. You're on the clock. Who are you picking?
Y'all would not believe me when I said I had this guy falling all the way here if possible. But because of what Darren did with the Chargers, I was actually going to have the football team taking Devontae Smith just to load up that offense. But if this guy is available, I think they're going to go with him just to protect the quarterback. Elijah Vera Tucker, I think he's going to go there. I think they need a little bit of help on that offensive line, just especially with you don't really know who's going to be the quarterbacks on, week 1. You don't know if it's going to be Ryan Fitzpatrick. You don't know if it's going to be Tyler. I don't know how to say his last name, but the playoff guy, Hero. Heineke. You don't know if it's going to be him, but all you need to know is you need to protect them at all costs, and you need to get, the best lineman that is there. So I think they're going to go there and, protect their guy.
Heineke
season.
Yeah, number 20. That would be you, Darren. You got the Chicago Bears. Who you picking for them?
So I've heard this a little bit from both these teams. The Bears and the Steelers, they actually kind of like Kyle Trask.
Don't you say it.
And with the Bears situation, I would not be surprised if that might happen. But for the Bears, we got to go defense on this one, people. They already lost Kyle Fuller. You can't lose too much on that team when it comes to the defense. Defense is the strength. And with Andy Dalton being your starting quarterback, you need a great defense with it. So this for me is honestly between two guys, and it's mainly because of injuries that I'm going to pick the latter. It was between Caleb Farley and Greg Newsome, the second. Greg Newsome will be the pick at number 20 for the Bears. Farley will only drop due to medical concerns, as the Bears do not want to risk not having that guy in there. Desmond Trufant is not a well-known healthy cornerback as of late. He's had injury concerns. They brought him in to try to help replace for Kyle Fuller. Jalen Johnson looked good last year, but can he continue to develop and be that number one guy? So, Bears take Greg Newsome the second.
He said, Chris said Farley for the Bears. Johnny said that I should have got Belichicker. Yeah, it was definitely one of those guys. And he said, no, don't do it to the Bears. Don't take Trevor. Oh man, yeah, you would have had everybody flipping if you would have did that. Darren, sorry, but yeah, you made a good spot right there. So the next pick we got is me. I am on the board with the Colts. Now with the Colts, I am going to give them. I'm going to make this easy. I'm going to give them an offensive tackle. They need one. This guy, I think, is going to fit what they're trying to do. Put him next to I forget names today. Their guard. Nelson. There you go. Yes, Greg Quentin Nelson. Put him next to Quentin Nelson. You got two road graders, guys that's going to destroy people off the field. I'm going to give them Tevin Jenkins, offensive tackle.
That's a good pick.
That is.
Thank you. All right, so number 22, we got Avery on the clock. You got the Titans. Who are you picking for them?
I wanted to go splash here and draft Justin Fields. The reason being is because Ryan Tannehill, again, he's 32. So he's getting up there. Obviously, he still has got a lot left in the tank. But I think that they may feel that, we might want to kind of push a little bit more, with what we can do offensively. Imagine Justin Fields in the backfield with Derrick Henry and all those different things. But I honestly think they still go offense here. I was thinking maybe even going defense after losing Adoree Jackson and different things like that. But I think that they go offense and replace Corey Davis. I think they're going to really try to replace Corey Davis. And here I think they go with probably the most underrated receiver in this draft in Rashad Bateman. And so that's who I'm going to give to the Tennessee Titans here. I think they go ahead and take him. I think they pick him up, steal him away from the Ravens because they know, the Ravens probably want him at receiver. They're going to take
Matt over there.
That was my pick. That was my pick for the Ravens, but all right.
Johnny said get Justin off the field. If you talk about Justin Fields is got taken already by the Broncos. Yeah, he got it's
he got drafted
by the Broncos.
He got drafted by the Broncos, but I was just saying if he was there, I would have been splashed and be like, "Yep, Justin Fields right here." But
he's not going to be there.
He's not on the board, guys. He's not on the board. I know you guys are writing, and it's kind of delayed for you guys. But yeah, he's not on the board anymore. So he said he sorry he missed that. It's okay. It's all right. All right, let's get to our next pick. We got Darren on the board with the New York Jets. Who are you picking for them for the first overall pick? First round pick, sorry.
So the Jets got their starting quarterback. They have guys returning that can do a little bit of something on defense. Defense is not going to be too bad, especially with Robert Saleh being there. They can still make a couple more additions, like adding Richard Sherman at cornerback. But for the Jets, for Zach Wilson, they already have invested in the offensive line pretty well over the last few years. Now it's time to give them more weapons. Najee Harris, number 23.
This guy.
Yes.
Right,
Najee Harris to the Jets, number 23. Get him a multi-versatile weapon to have in the backfield with him. And his best pro comparison is a Matt Forte. Matt Forte was in the league for 10 years and produced very well for 8. To have that paired with a young guy coming in, that would be very, very good for his development.
So, Darren, real quick, that was a really great pick, despite what I said earlier. The reason why is that they have a really high second round pick, and right before them, or right after them, is the Steelers. And if they're fearful that the Steelers are going to take them, this is the time to take them. Don't wait till second round pick. So, despite what I said earlier, this would be actually a really strategic pick right here to take them before the Steelers get them. So, I think that was great for you. Darius is shaking his head because he probably wanted them right there and messed up his board. So Darius is on the board right now. He had the Steelers. Who are you picking for the Steelers?
Come on, Darren.
Listen, if I could trade, there would be so much more working right now.
You messed up.
But there's no trade, so I'm sorry. I gotta mess the board up.
Oh.
Gotta give them what they need, man. You gotta give them what they need.
Man. I'm probably gonna catch fire for this one. Darren, you alluded to it earlier. This team really likes him. With Big Ben getting old, I definitely think the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to take a chance and they're going to draft Kyle Trask. I think they're going to draft Kyle Trask. You're going to get him. You're going to get a guy who can learn behind Big Ben, the two-time Super Bowl champion. You don't know if he's going to be there early when you pick in the second round. I believe if they have a second-round pick. So I think Pittsburgh is they're going to reach. They're going to do it. And at least you know, hey, we might have our quarterback for the long run. We got him in the first round, especially because I think they really like Najee Harris, and they need a running back, especially with James Conner going. They need a guy who's a three down back who can do it all, really. So I think if the Jets decide to take Najee Harris, they're going to go with Kyle Trask and get their backup, their future quarterback.
Wow.
Splash.
Chris said that the Harris pick was good, especially that they don't have a starter on their team, which they don't. He also says that Steelers should get Creed Humphrey. Well, Steelers Creed Humphrey. Yeah. I think
that would be great. Cornerback.
Listen, WTF? Trask on the first round? No way. That's not even
listen, man. Reports are saying they really like him. They really like him. They're doing their homework.
Wow, man.
I can see them reaching in the pocket.
That's a break the internet type of pick. So we'll see.
Russell went number 1 overall. All right, let's not forget.
All right, well, you're still on the clock. You got the Jags. Before you get to that, let's get to this. Chris says, trash, yikes. And Johnny said, Mon would have been a better pick. If Creed is on the board, they would jump on it.
So with the Jags, you get your franchise quarterback. You have to work on your defense now. They can go a number of ways. And I think they go corner. You got C.J. Henderson, who they drafted last year. I think they're going to go and then I don't know if he got picked, Greg Newsome. Did he hit? Is he off the board?
Yep. Greg Newsome off the board.
Okay, so if they're not going to go with him, I think they're going to go safety. They're going to go Trayvon Moray. I think you add a guy who can go back there and just do it all, especially because that's a young defense. And that's something I think now that they really got to build up is that defense. You can get pressure with Josh Allen. You have a young defensive line. Now it's really time to beef up that secondary and get a guy who can go back there and really just do it all. So I definitely think they're going to go safety. And you pick the best safety in the draft.
All right. Well, I'm on the clock now. I got the Cleveland Browns. I was about to say Cleveland Bears. Got the Cleveland Browns. I already know who I'm going to pick. I just can't remember. There he is. Listen, the Browns, they don't have a lot of needs, to be honest. They got, spots, but they don't have a lot of needs. And this spot is going to pick up a need for them, though. This is spot going to pick up a need for them. And when they pick this up, they're going to be a top 10 defense. I'm putting it out there because I'm picking Christian Bersall right here. Christian Bersall in the middle of that defensive line with Clowney and
Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett. Jeez, dude.
Your twin, man. How you think?
See, you know what I mean? I quit. I'm out of here. See you guys. No, but I think that defensive line is going to be crazy if they get Darius Barrymore right here now, right there. I actually think he might slide up because he's getting a little buzz. But if he falls this far and the Browns are there and they're like, why not? So I think that'll be a perfect pick. All right, so we got our next pick, Mr. Ravens himself, Darren Braxton. He's been waiting all day for this pick. He's on the clock. Who are you picking for your boys?
You ruined my board. It was so perfect. It was just let them keep falling. Let them keep falling. Dang, snatch him up. Well, we can't even do that now. But luckily, it's okay.
Who did you want?
Bateman, obviously. I knew Smith would not be there unless we trade up to get into that teen range to possibly get him if he drops. But realistically, our best targets for a big body number one receiver that can go up, win the contested balls, be a jump ball guy for our man, Lamar Jackson, El Freaky. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, you gotta give him a weapon.
Real quick, Johnny, that was Barrymore, not Darius Hall. That was Barrymore. The defensive tackle from Alabama.
Yep.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I like a lot of these receivers, but out of all the receivers, for me, it's between North Carolina's Dynamo Brown and LSU's Terrence Marshall. Terrence Marshall is going to be the pick here at number 27.
Terrence
He's
Marshall.
going to be the big body guy that can go up, win the contested catches, and give us speed. When you add him, Mark Andrews, Marquise Brown, and Sammy Watkins, that is an array of people there.
Chris agrees with
for
me.
Lamar Jackson to show that he can truly pass.
There you go. You got the stamp of approval from the listeners, so that's great. All right. So with that being said, we got Avery. You are on a clock. You got the New Orleans Saints. Who are you picking for them?
This is actually the hardest pick, I think, in the draft right here. Especially with their positioning. I think they probably end up trading up to try to fill some needs. Drew Brees' retirement obviously puts a fork in their plans at quarterback. So I wouldn't be surprised if they trade up to try to get a Justin Fields or a Zach Wilson or Trey Lance, Mac Jones, or something like that. So wouldn't be surprised. I also wouldn't be surprised if they ended up taking somebody, on the defensive side. But this pick, I think they're going to go wide receiver. I'm not sure why I'm getting this feeling, but I think they're going to go wide receiver, and I think that they're going to go with. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I think they're gonna go Elijah Moore. I think they're gonna go Elijah Moore out of Ole Miss. I think they want a shifty type of receiver, somebody who can kind of shake around. You've got Michael Thomas who can run the short and the intermediate routes. You want the Elijah Moore who's the quicker guy, can get in and out of his breaks a little bit better. It's also going to be helpful as a security blanket. For whoever is at quarterback. I mean, you don't have Jared Cook anymore. There's so many different things that they're going to need. I think that they're going to go wide receiver to try to offset a little bit of that. The defense still isn't terrible. We saw how they played toward the end of last year, so they still got some key guys there. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I think, but
I appreciate you being on, Johnny.
Thank you, Johnny. If they don't trade up to get a quarterback, I do think that they'll take a receiver right here, and I think Elijah Moore will be the pick.
Oh, wow. That's an unexpected pick. That's an unexpected pick, which might have trolled the next player on here, which is the Packers. So that would be with Darius. You had the Packers, your last pick of the draft. Who you giving them? You just got trolled a little bit from that pick.
So with Green Bay, man, what they did last year, drafting obviously Jordan Love in the first round, something's telling me they're going to surprise us again and draft the position that really doesn't need that much focus. At first I had them going corner, going to Asante Samuel Jr. I don't know why. I just felt like they were probably going to draft the corner just because of what Kelvin King did and how he got torched against Scotty Miller. And I think that's somebody they want to have young. But I think I'm gonna go wide receiver. I think they finally get it right. We saw the reports from Aaron Rodgers. Maybe they get it right. Maybe they don't. I'm gonna go with Kadarius Toney out of Florida. I think you get an electric guy who can put him in a slot. He can return kicks. He can return punts. So you get a multi-dimensional player. So I think that they go him. I was gonna say Terrence Marshall Jr., but Darren wants to take that pick, so I think they're gonna go with Kadarius Toney, man, and not because his name is similar. It has nothing to do with that.
Wow. All right, I'm on a clock. Bills Mafia, are you ready? Bills Mafia, are you ready? Oh my goodness! So there's literally 2 players on the board that Bills Mafia is gonna go absolutely insane if these 2 players drop to them. 2 players. I'm gonna say it. It's Kwity Paye, go blue. He's the option. And Caleb Farley's right there. Caleb Farley have not been picked yet. Who do I pick? Do I pick my big blue? Or do I go with the best corner in the draft?
Go with the big blue. They need more help on that defensive line. Actually,
no, you go corner. You go corner.
Bills. Go offense.
Go corner.
You do what you feel.
Go offense. I don't want to play
corner,
one of those guys.
The Bills with Caleb Farley on one side and Trey White on the other.
That's a nightmare. That's why. No, don't do it.
Come
Trade
on,
the pick.
man.
I'm going with Caleb Farley. Bills Mafia choice. They have the best cornerback tandem in the league. If they pick this, I'm going Caleb Farley. I'm sorry. Caleb Farley will not drop this far. I don't like medical, whatever. I don't care what teams are scared, but if he gets down to it right here, the Bills will be ecstatic if he's there. Farley's the pick. Yeah, Chris Gill agrees with me. Farley is there. He's there. I'm picking him. Sorry, Kwity Paye. Hopefully one of my guys picks you in the first round because he should definitely be in the first round. But that's the off the board. And we got the Ravens on the clock. Please tell me you're picking my boy. Please tell me you're picking my boy.
Y'all need him. Y'all need an edge rusher.
No. For me, it's definitely going to the line for these next 2 picks for the Ravens. But the thing is, we do not have a second rounder as of the trade. So we have 2 firsts, and then we don't get another pick until the 3rd, in which we have, I believe, 2 or 3 third-round picks, which does kind of balance out, especially with so much value down there. But this one's really a toss-up for me. You know what? I got to go with my gut. Somehow he dropped this far. It is what it is. Give me Paye. Put him at the edge. Let him be that dynamic guy that can truly get after it in Don Martindale's amazing exotic blitz scheme. He's going to know where to put him. And with veterans already there, he's going to be able to blend right in. Yes, it is. Because the only people that I've really had that dropped to me was Paye. Jason Owen from Penn State. He still dropped to me. And I don't know about you guys, but I've heard a lot of great things about this guy, and I really think he can sneak in. Redundant from the Bisons. Left tackle. I really think he can sneak in that back end of the draft from. And I do like Tyler Engelbert. But for the most part, as soon as Bateman was gone, that ruined it for me. That ruined it right there.
Dang. Man, that would be crazy. Kwity Paye going to the Ravens. That'd be such a great fit for them. All right, we're going to finish up this draft because Avery needs to get off anyway, and he is the last one to pick. So, Avery, finish off this draft. Who are the Buccaneers picking last in this draft?
Man, I think they end up going safety here. You got Trevon, you got Elijah Molden, you got Jamar Johnson, are the three guys that I think they could end up taking. Darius ended up taking
Trayvon.
Thank you. I'm trying to remember what team you took him on.
Jacksonville.
Thank you. Okay. So I think they end up going Jamar Johnson here. I think he ends up being the last pick. I think they go Jamar Johnson and get some help on the some more help on the back end of the defense. Obviously, Antoine Winfield Jr. is really good, but more of like I said, a hybrid kind of play in the box. We saw what Davis did last year at the corner position, so he obviously can play there. Shore up that back end. Your front four is pretty solid. Your linebackers are phenomenal. So I think that you're probably going to end up going safety here, if not safety, offensive line. But again, we're not doing trades, but I think they're going to trade up. And for some reason, somehow, the Bucs are going to end up with Mac Jones sitting behind Tom Brady.
Wow. All right. Well, we're going to end it off on that hot take right there. But, guys, thank y'all so much for checking us out. Make sure you check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, on all social media. Check us out on all our podcast platforms. We talk to a lot of these players that are going to be drafted in the next 3 days. So make sure you go check that out. Listen to their interviews. Listen to what they was thinking before these drafts, guys. And also make sure you go check out us in about like 30 to 40 minutes. We're going to do a live draft day. That's why Avery just popped off. Avery's going to be conducting that. So make sure you do that. We're going to have live reactions as soon as we get off of here in about like 30, 45 minutes right before the draft actually starts, guys. So again, guys, thank y'all so much for coming with us. And we're going to continue this coverage all season. Hope you guys go out there and enjoy your draft nights. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great. And have a great night, guys. I hope y'all get y'all picks. We'll talk to y'all next week. Check us out. Baby. Also,
let's go, Bill.
If you are on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you know every time we go live as well. It really supports us and everything like that. So thank you guys so much. We thank all you guys for all the support y'all doing so far already. So thank you guys for that, and we really do appreciate that. We'll see y'all in a few minutes, and enjoy your draft nights. Have a good one.